Hey, welcome back, Math Gurus. Today's video will focus on long division, but we're going to use partial quotients. So go ahead and stick around and see what I'm talking about. Nicholas put 1,012 baseball cards into boxes. He puts 22 cards in each box. How many boxes did Nicholas need for these baseball cards? So our total is 1,012, and we want to divide that by 22, which would be our divisor. When we get our answer, that's our quotient. So we're going to use what I call mental math in my classroom, which is try to use as much powers of 10 and halves as possible. So let's get started. 10 groups of 22 is 220. Most students know write 22 and add a 0 because that's powers of 10. Well, now I want to go to 100 groups of 22 because 220 is just not enough. That'll give me 2,200. Well, that's more than I need. So what I'm going to do is I want to know what half of that is, which would be 50 groups of 22 or 50 times 22. That dot means multiply. So this is 1,100. And so that's still more than I need. So since we're going to continue the half, I want to know what half of 220 is, which would be 5 groups of 22. Which would give us 110. So what I want to really figure out, what's 45 groups of 22? Well, instead of actually multiplying 45 and 22, which would be totally fine, I'm going to use what I already have, which is the 50 and the 5. So what I'll do is subtract, and I'll determine it's 990. So 22 times 45, I'll put the 45 here, gives me 990. When you subtract that, you end up with 22. So now how many 22s go into 22? 1. One group of 22 is 22. Subtract. You're left with no remainders. Our answer is what I wrote on the side, which is the 45 and 1. We add that, and our quotient or our answer is 46. For the next problem, it says a library received 1,248 new books. They want to place the books equally onto 24 shelves. How many books will go on each shelf? So our total is 1,248, and we want to divide that by 24. We'll continue with the same how we did on the last one. I always like to start off with using my powers of 10. 24 times 10, or 10 groups of 24, or 10 times 24 gives us 240. Okay, that's not what I need. That's too, I could use it, but I'm choosing not to. 100 groups of 24 would be 2,400. Well, that's more than what I need. So let's go, what's half of that, which would be 50 groups of 24 is 1,200. That's good enough. I'm going to go with that. So 50 times 24 is 1,200. So I'll subtract, get a difference of 48. And so the question is, how many 24s can go into 48? Well, hopefully you know it's 2. 2 groups of 24 is 48. Subtract, there's no remainder, so our actual answer would be 52. So for the final problem, I'd like you to pause the video, write down the answer, write down the question, and solve it in the comments. If the video helped, please don't forget to hit like or subscribe.